Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Tuesday lunch chat. We have a very special guest today, so buckle up. So we have a lot to talk about. We're going to meet Miss Ariana here next to me, and then I have 2 new samples to show off to you and some reminders. Hi, Bert. Good to see you. Oh, and just FYI, the comments show up later for us. So when we see comments, they've probably typed them minutes ago. But hi, Karen. Karen, I cannot wait to see what you made with that recent shipment because those were some gorgeous colors. I have had my eye on that Tosh Sport in the Northeast Kingdom colorway for a long time. And if nobody bought it, I was going to buy it. But you snatched it up, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. So hello, Lee. Hello, Sharon. All right, so we're going to kick everything off today by getting to know Miss Ariana. She is the newest member of Team Awesome. You probably saw me introduce her in the newsletter, and maybe you caught her Instagram video where she introduced herself. Hi, Jill. She says hello. Hi, Julia. But we thought it'd be fun to, you know, have a little Q&A and get to know Ariana a little bit better. So, Ariana. So, you guys, just a second. I can't see. There we go. Okay. Tell us, first of all, how you started knitting. You're going to be amazed at her knitting story. So
I started knitting in the spring of 2022, so I haven't been knitting very long. And I guess the story dates back to the winter of 2022 when I was sent a 32 peg loom from my mom for a Christmas present. And so I knit a little hat on the loom, and I thought it was really fun, but I didn't think that I had the ability to actually knit since I don't have like super good dexterity in my hands. And then a friend of mine told me an amazing story about her mom who had her fingers cut off in a saw and then had surgery and now has like full function of her hands, and she's an artist. And so she was like, there's nothing that should stop you from pursuing knitting if you want to try. So then I got my first knitting needles and went on a massive rabbit hole. And here I am less than a year later, really deeply involved in the craft.
yes. So I appreciate all of this because I opened the store when I'd been only knitting for 2 years. And so I know all about that obsession where you get introduced to something and it was, so I always, what I say is, it was like I was waiting my whole life for someone to teach me, but I just didn't know it. I feel like you have that quality too. So
very much so.
So Ariana, just having started not that long ago, jumped right into knitting, very complicated things. So tell us about what you love to knit the most.
Ooh, let's see. I love knitting garments. That's pretty much exclusively garments. I made on my little peg loom one hat and a pair of slippers, and then I jumped into doing a test knit for a designer that I really admired, and made this beautiful long sleeve shirt in cotton, and I had no idea what I was doing. I needed to look up every single stitch on YouTube, and it turned out pretty well. So after that, I just continued making garments, and now I'm slowly building my wardrobe.
I still remember, I don't know exactly when it was, but one of the early times that you came in to get stuff, maybe it was for, you had just finished a project, you were buying more, but I had seen, you had tagged that you had bought the materials here, and I had seen your post on her Instagram page, and I was like, oh, this knitter's amazing! Not only were you making great things, but you were making these really beautiful posts about the things that you made. And so then, of course, we were all talking about you behind the scenes. Confession time. You were telling Jill, like, you got to go check out this young hot thing. She's making all these great sweaters with yarn from our store. And then I think from there, it just kept, we were back for more and more and more and more. And so...
Well, yeah, Not Another Hat was a fantastic inspiration. I felt so supported when I first came in. And I think the first time I came in, I met Julia. And I was like, I've never used knitting needles. And then after that, I got to know you and Jill. And yeah, it's been quite a wild ride.
What What are you working on right now?
Right now, I am finishing up a test knit for a French designer. It's called the Sawaru sweater, and it has beautiful brioche columns. It's in mohair. I'm using the Madeleine Tosh impression.
Oh, we got to see a snippet of that, didn't we, in the video?
Yeah. And so hopefully, I'm working on the sleeves right now, so hopefully it will be finished this week, and stop in on a date soon. I'll wear it to work.
There you go. Yes.
Everyone can see it in person.
I didn't get to see the one you wore that everyone was raving about. Must have been Friday. A V-neck?
Yes,
that was
in blue.
Yes, I'm gonna need to see that one. Jill was saying the neck was so beautifully finished.
Oh, thank you. That one's called the Winter Wave sweater. It was just released on Ravelry. That was a test knit for a designer in Germany. And yeah,
what'd you make it in?
Really comfy. That one is in Woolstock Light.
Oh.
Which I love.
And they just released 6 new colors to round the palette out to the full range. So we'll be getting those 6 new colors in mid-March too. So.
Oh, how exciting.
I do. I love that yarn also.
Yeah.
So nice. Okay, let's see. What else can I ask you? Do you have any knitting goals for 2023?
I want to design.
Yay!
I've always been super into fashion, and I love picking apart like patterns and creating my own little things to adapt them. And I feel like I have a pretty specific style, and I'm growing into my style. And so I'm hoping to be able to fully design my wardrobe, and of course share that with anyone that's interested.
I think we will all be interested. That's awesome. That's great. And I think that you are well on your way to achieving that goal. Just by tackling all the things that you've tackled. It's like, you know, adding to your quiver, basically, your knowledge quiver. So, okay, that was all of the questions I thought of. Do you have any other things you want to share? Oh, wait, let's see. Tell us something that you like to do in your time that's not knitting. Like
Recently, nothing. No. I like to knit all the time. No, I love sports. Some unconventional sports that I do. I like to ski jor with my dog. So ski jor.
Ski jor.
It's like you know, sled. When you have a sled dog. So it's like that, except you're on cross-country skis and you're attached to your dog. So you wear like a human harness that's kind of like a rock climbing harness, and then your dog has the pulling harness. So we started doing that together, and it's been really fun.
I don't think I would have anticipated human harness coming up in our interview today. Okay, that sounds cool. That sounds cool. Anything else non-snow related?
Non-snow related.
It doesn't have to be anything else. Totally put you on the spot. I have no other hobbies right now, so it's okay.
Let's see. What else am I have so many interests. A lot of sports stuff. Something that I'm hoping to get into this summer is my husband really wants to learn how to fly planes. And so I previously took ground school and have taken flight lessons. And so he wants to go and do that and become a pilot, and then I want to be his co-pilot. So hopefully I'll get back into flying planes.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Thanks.
Oh my gosh.
It's
I have so
fun.
much more to learn about you.
It's just like driving a car in the sky. It's really not that hard.
Sure. My niece is actually going through flight school right now.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, to become a commercial pilot. So.
Yay, good for her.
Fun. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, would you like to stay while I talk about other stuff?
Sure,
Okay.
yeah.
I wasn't going to give her an option. Okay, so we have 2 great new samples to talk about. The first one just arrived, hot off the needles from Miss Chris. And it is the most precious little French Macaroon baby sweater. And it has a spot for a little button closure in the back. We just haven't put a button on it because I literally just took it out of the envelope. But this was knit in the Pima Soft by Berroco. And oh boy, I'm forgetting the size I had Chris do. I want to say it's the 6 to 9 month size. I could be wrong, but we'll get more information about this up on a blog post soon. So just as a reminder, isn't it adorable?
Yes.
This is Pima Soft. This was new last season. So many great colors. If you look at the French Macaroon pattern on Ravelry, you'll see they have them knit up in a bunch of colors, and I could totally see we just have having 3 on display in white with one of each of these colors because it's that adorable. So check that out. I think it was 2 skeins and 1 skein. 2 skeins of the main color and 1 skein of the white that went into this size, but it varies by size, and all that information's on the Ravelry listing. So check that out. And then Jill has finished knitting a planned pooling project. This one is called Rome by Dawn Barker. And she did this with 2 skeins of the Barker wool collaboration. This skein that the colorway she used happens to be gone right now, but we will be getting more. It's called Comic Book Art. I think it's really apt. Reminds me of the old school comics. Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. I'm not used to having 4 hands in these videos. So here are the colors we currently have. They're also stunning. We've got Guernica and Maryland and Paper Cuts. This is Paper Cuts. Oh, look at that pink. And then Maryland is blue with the lime pop, a little less intense than the Comic Book Art. And then Guernica is kind of a light speckledy with black, well, brown black. So there are lots of great patterns you can do with planned pooling yarns, cowls, shawls. There's even a gorgeous top-down pullover called Murder of Crows. So check it out. We'll be getting more colors every quarter from Madeline Tosh through their special collaboration with Barker Wool. So I think we got our last set in February, which means probably April or May that we'll be getting 2 new colors. But it's a lot of fun. Everybody who's done it says it is endlessly entertaining because you're constantly looking forward to getting to your next batch of your pop color and working your little special stitch. The stitches vary, they're not all the same. Laura is working on a different shawl right now that is called Pop, aptly named. And it has a totally different little texture stitch in the contrast color. So don't just think they're all the same, different shapes with all the same stitch patterns, because there is a lot of different options. So we also have a blog post up about the Rome shawl that Jill just finished. So you can go and check all the details there. Oh, thank you, Julia. She shared the link to the Murder of Crows. Yes, yes. Somebody asked earlier, I saw it fly by. I think it might have been Lois, what I'm wearing. This is an oldie, but goodie. It's Sunday. Nope, Old Town by Carol Sunday. And it's one of my favorite sweaters ever. And I've actually knitted again more recently in Smooshy Cashmere, but that one is still on display in the store, so it doesn't really go into rotation for things that I wear, like this old one, which is I think in a yarn that the company doesn't even exist anymore. So if you're looking for a great lightweight pullover, it's a fingering weight sweater knit at a slightly looser gauge. It's really, really lovely, very flattering on a lot of people. So Old Town. Okay, so the last couple of things I want to do, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but this is just a smattering of the stash that we got turned in during our stash amnesty. Look there's some real lovelies here. A couple of skeins of Madeline Tosh Vintage. What do we got? Tosh DK. This is in the original Coquette, which is not even made anymore. Because they can't dye it anymore. So we are going to sort through this stash and actually list a lot of it for sale at screaming good deals. I'm talking like $1, $2, $3, $5, and then offer it up for sale as a fundraiser for our local Christmas project, which I like to donate to every year. And if we do it as a stash sale this time of year, we can make that donation earlier in the year so they can actually use those funds more easily than when I usually donate, which is at the beginning of December. So stay tuned for that, because we will hopefully get that available to online customers as well. I know a lot of you would like to be able to participate in that and aren't able to come into the store in person. It'll probably just take me a while to sort it. So think maybe a month from now. How about that? So watch for that. And the very, very, very last thing that I want to remind you all about is our spring yarn tasting has just gone on sale. And you can find that on the website. If you're not familiar with our yarn tastings, we like to do it upright. We include good size samples. They're like 0.5 to 0.6 ounces each. That's like a third to a fifth of a skein, depending if you're talking about 50 gram or 100 gram skein. So plenty to actually knit with and sample and experience. We also like to throw in a couple of bonus non-yarn items. Those are a surprise every time. And then of course I record videos for every weight class of all of the new yarns, walking you through their properties and what you can do with them, etc. So it's a comprehensive experience. You get a box full of yarn, but then you also get a lot of education to go along with that. So it's always a good time. We are working to put those together right now. So the sales will be open through the middle of March, and then they will ship at the end of March, early April. So be sure to go check that out. Sign up before we sell out. There are limited quantities available because it is fairly labor intensive to put these boxes together. So check out the spring yarn tasting. You want to pop back in to say goodbye? All right, thank you everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And you can find Ariana in the stores on our new day, Sunday. Woo! We are now open Sundays 11 to 3, and you actually won't find her the next 2 Sundays. But we will be open, so still pop in on Sunday, but you will normally find her here on Sundays. And thank you so much for tuning in. We'll meet you back here next week, same time, same place. Toodaloo. Bye.